right, I'm in Épinay. We are going to Billecart-Salmon. We're going to taste some amazingly well done, thoughtful, curated wines. Billecart-Salmon is very well known for their cold fermentation, their thoughtful production, and such amazing complexity in the glass.
Please. So this is where we usually start the tours with an explanation about the history of the house and the explanation about the vineyard. So at Billecart-Salmon we work only into the Marne district.
Okay.
We don't have any vineyard in the Aube or in Vienne or in any other region. Let's say about 30 miles average from here. We work only with the three main variety grapes. The Chardonnay is coming from the Côte des Blancs, the Pinot Noir from here around the house, what we can call the Grande Vallée de la Marne, and the Montagne de Reims, and the Meunier from the Vallée de la Marne. Vallée de la Marne, Côte des Blancs, Montagne de Reims. So the Côte des Blancs, there is almost no soil. It's Pinot Noir here, more clay limestone. Vallée de la Marne, sand. That's the important part in the Marne Valley is the sand, as the Meunier is more sensitive to mildew and black mildew, so it needs a soil with a better drainage. We control 500 acres. We buy grapes on 250.
Okay.
And we buy only grapes, no grape juices, no still wines. So we have, for 250 acres, we have more than 400 partners. Okay, so
that's a lot.
And in total, we have more than 1,000 plots.
Wow.
Okay, between what we own and what we buy. We vinify, we harvest, we press and we vinify everything separately by qualities, like village, variety grapes and plots. So at the end we also have more than 1,000 still wines to work with, and like this we can be much more precise on the blendings, and we have a much better tracking and recording plot by plot over the years. 1/3 of the vineyard is certified organic. The rest is at least fair and sustainable and high environmental value since 2017. We keep extending the organic area year after year, and what is already certified organic now starts to go through the biodynamic certification process.
Fabulous, that's amazing.
We produce between 2 and 2.5 million bottles a year now, so Billecart-Salmon is a small to medium-sized champagne house.
But very recognizable.
We talk about the champagne houses, not the growers.
Exactly, for sure. Bon Perignon from La Petite Jeune. I'm in Billecart-Salmon, and we're looking through this really amazing book all about champagne. There's so many great historical moments with champagne in here. Billecart is a house that is so well known for being part of Épinay, and they're making fabulous wines. And here's some wine. These are the wines on deck for right now. And check out this beautiful space. Hi. Fabulous.
I think we are going to do it this way.
Okay. Brut sur Bois, done in oak, and Rosé 2012.
Okay.
Other way around, Rosé first.
The one on your left. We have 3 high-end champagnes, vintage champagnes named after the founders. So Louis Salmon is the Blanc de Blanc, and Louis Salmon was Elizabeth's brother and the first winemaker for the house.
Oh wow, that's fabulous.
Blanc de Blanc Grand Cru. So only grapes from the Côte des Blancs for 2012, Chouilly, Cramant, and Le Mesnil-sur-Aÿ. We have 25% of the wines vinified in oak here. It aged for 10 years. Still a pretty bright color for a 12 years old champagne. Light, pale lemon yellow.
The generosity, but then the level of acidity coming through. Quite nice and bright, and really kind of lifts it up so beautifully.
This is the work between the wines vinified in oak and the ones vinified in stainless steel. At Billecart-Salmon, the oak barrels are here to bring a softer texture, but without losing the brightness of the fruit.
Mainly neutral.
We use
All
old
neutral.
barrels. They are 20 years old barrels.
Okay, so all neutral
Average.
barrel. Fabulous. Honestly, this is really lovely.
Cheers.
Cheers! It's so nice on the nose too. It's just so refreshing with those white flowers and almost crisp sea wind, which is nowhere near here, but always smells like it is.
Yeah, honeysuckle.
And honeysuckle and everything.
Citrus, but in a pretty ripe way. Little exotic touch on pineapple, but at the same time, really high freshness on
the palate.
And even on the nose, something like aniseed, fennel.
Yeah, I love this wine. It's so great. Every time it comes into the marketplace in Ontario, I always lose out on getting some. We'll end up having to drink our heart's content here, and then I'll tell people to order it for me. That might be easier.
Yeah.
Do you want to try?
It's a pretty easy, enjoyable champagne, but for me, already a proper gastronomic one. Great to pair with anything cooked in butter or in a cream sauce. Fatty cheeses, double cream, triple cream cheese.
It's so fun because I know that I'm drinking from 2012, but it's so refreshing. It feels like a much younger wine overall.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you taste that blind. You don't say it's 2012.
It feels like a baby.
Yeah. All the champagnes have a very nice aging potential. This is because we do a cold fermentation instead of a traditional one.
Okay.
So a traditional fermentation in champagne is in Celsius or Fahrenheit?
I'm not American, Celsius.
So,
I don't understand Fahrenheit either.
So 18 to 20 Celsius. At Billecart-Salmon, we do the alcoholic fermentations between 12 and 13.
Okay, so you have longer fermentation
So
then.
yes, 12 being the lowest temperature to start an alcoholic fermentation. They are much more gentle, progressive and longer. And so it helps us to keep more purity of the variety grapes, more freshness, especially in terms of aging potential.
Yeah,
And more fineness and elegance in flavors and aromas.
beautiful.
When a traditional one is 15 days max, a cold one like this is minimum 15 days. It can take up to 6 weeks,
Yeah,
So much longer.
much longer.
And this is what really makes Billecart-Salmon special, as it was the first house to do that, and it's still the only one
To do cold fermentation?
to do it for all the production. No one else.
Nobody else?
And it's like this since 1958.
Wow. I really like how this one, you can see on the label, it looks like wood.
No, it is
Almost.
wood.
It is wood.
It's cherry wood.
Oh my god! It's actually
It
cherry
is.
wood. It really does sell that it is all done in oak.
We tried.
I think you did a good job.
As a non-vintage, the base year is quite important. There is 70% of the wines from the base year, which is 16 or 17. Yeah, 16. So here 70% of 16. And the reserve wines are coming from a perpetual reserve.
Okay.
Started in 2006.
Okay. Everything is done by a year for your reserves, or is it like almost a
In that
Solera
case,
style?
in that case, it's a Solera style.
Solera style.
Yes,
Okay.
but in stainless steel.
So basically what that means is they have a large vat filled with amazing wine that goes back to 2006, and it's a Solera. So that means that basically you have in Port and Madeira where you have large amounts of past wine in oak. This is in stainless steel, so it keeps its freshness. But all that vintage wine in there could be from 2006 up into present vintage, whichever was harvested. So 2023 would be the last vintage that would be in there, correct? Yes and no?
Yes and no. At least for the one we are drinking this afternoon, yes. The youngest one is 16. 15, sorry, 15.
15, so not previous, not up to the last vintage. Ah.
And the 70% of the base wines from 16
Yeah.
are not from the Solera.
But if a wine was made this year for Sous-Bois.
Yes, for the Sous-Bois we made this year, yes.
Yeah, and previous vintages. Okay, fabulous. My bad.
Yes, just wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah, no worries. But this wine only contains up to 2016. There we go. That's our base vintage. It's just so cool.
Yes, and so that's 6 years on the lease for non-vintage. It's quite long.
I really like the level of shoulders down, oxidation, softness of fruit character. It's really like orchard on the last day that you can pick the apples. Like it feels very ripe in a way, which is really quite nice. And there's this almost earthen hiking kind of character to it from the oak usage.
The oak is definitely not taking over the fruit.
No.
Bring a nice touch of softness and spiciness, but
Just a little, especially because it's neutral barrels. It's almost like the oak has kind of become alive again. It's like when you walk through a forest and you kind of just smell the generalness of trees and whatever happens. But it's really quite light. It's not like a oak-aged Chardonnay that you would call an oak-aged Chardonnay. What did you think of this one? So most recent vintage 2012. Picking 2016, by the time it gets out of tank is what, April again? of the following year? Fermentation?
For the vintage champagnes, a bit later than that, like
June?
May, July.
So then it stays in tank until July, and then
It's bottled the year after. So this was bottled in 13,
okay.
and it was disgorged a year before the release.
Okay.
23, so 10 years.
10 years in total.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's the easiest math.
Yes, well, we at Billecart-Salmon, we make sure we don't release the vintage champagnes less than a year after the disgorgement to make sure that the dosage is well included when incorporated by the wine. So it's minimum 1 year, sometimes it's longer. And for the non-vintage, it's minimum 6 months. We keep the non-vintage minimum 3 years and up to 8 years. For the vintage ones, it's minimum 10 years and up to whatever it needs to get ready.
Because you have some library wines that probably have never been disgorged.
No, actually, we don't keep the library wines on lease, but disgorged.
Oh, wow. That's so
something
cool.
A bit different.
That is a bit different. Cold fermentation, pieces of wood, no disgorgement in library wines.
Yeah.
But that's cool. At least it stops aging, so you can actually taste how the vintage is aging. Yeah, like a still wine would end up being anyway. So that's pretty cool. So beautiful, this one. What is the blend for this?
50%, 55% Chardonnay, 45 Pinot Noir,
Okay.
10% red wine, 3% in oak.
3% in oak. That's this guy. I love it. It's like apple skin with those almost like white strawberry notes.
Oh yeah, when it opens up, you will see it's even black fruits like black currant, blackberries, black cherries.
And almost like that currant leaf too that you get, like kind of like a little bit vegetal, which is really nice.
Yes, you have also the acidity of or gooseberry or red currant, black currant. It's a good way to talk about it. Yeah.
And the texture on the palate is so nicely done. A little bit more structure than the classic 2012 in Blanc de Blanc.
The red wine.
I know. I'm always a Pinot Noir fan though. That's the thing.